Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Online Karting League. We have a bit of a fun race tonight. Endurance race, that is. It should be about an hour worth of endurance racing. We're just finalizing the last minute of quali, or practice rather. And then we're going to go into the qualifying session, which should be about 10 minutes. We're going to get racing from there. Hopefully all the boys can make it through the night. Yeah, super excited. It's been a minute since we've done an endurance race at OKL. The last one we did was last year with the Motorsport South Africa or African Festival, where we did an African only endurance race on that day. That was at Formula K. This time around, we are driving at PFI, Paul Fletcher International, and we've got a bunch of good drivers on track. Nick Wright, one of the newcomers to OKL, sporting a Praga there. Alexander Pricevic, he needs no introduction in the OKL scene. He's been doing really good on the ranked racing side of things, and I think he's still the current #1 ranked driver in OKL. Liam Skuman, also one of the newer drivers. I have been on a line with him earlier today. He has been super fast, so watch out for Liam Skuman. Gunnar van Hamburg, one of the European-based drivers. So thank you, Gunnar, for making the time to come out and race with us. Super excited to see where your pace is on PFI today. And then Keenan Duplessis, no stranger to the T4 karts. That's where he started his karting journey, but has moved over to the two-stroke Rotax setup in South Africa, and he has been super fast in the two-stroke side. But we are now back onto the simulator. Let's see what Keenan can do tonight. We are racing fixed setup. Deacon Willifeer, sporting that Formula K kart as always. And then Alfie Philipson, one of the newer drivers as well. And Daniel Resende from Mozambique. And John Junior Stander, also from my local region down in Cape Town, youngster Minimax driver. There we go. So let's give him a minute. We're going to head over into qualifying pretty much within the next minute or so. Right. Well, the boys are going to go out and start their qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see where they are going to start. They do have a mandatory pit stop tonight, though. How that works is they're going to drive into the pits, stand still for 30 seconds, and then they can go out again. If they flip their cart, they are allowed to go back to pits, wait 1 minute, and then go back out again, just to let them lose at least one lap. It's not a big penalty to pay. The race is only 55 minutes, more or less. They're going to do a rolling start. John Junior Stander leading the charge in his OTK. So it's all the Tillotson engines, but we're allowing the guys to run custom carts at least, so that it's not just all one looking cart. Deacon Willifeer, of course, took advantage of that opportunity to get himself up in front. Stander is going to just try and tuck in behind him and maximize his lap time. Deacon Willifeer, we know, is super fast. So let's see what he does when we get going on our first lap. Into the last sector we go, which is pretty much a golf club or hockey stick down here in South Africa looking corner. Oh, Deacon not getting a great exit there, but let's see. He's going to start his qualifying lap now. Everybody came out of the pits and it immediately started the lap, but we know that's not going to be a good representative lap time. Deacon Willifeer will follow him through the first section under the bridge, now going around. Long left-hander, another sharp left this time around. Pretty much flat out through here from what I've tested earlier today on that T4 kart. No need to do anything silly. Keep the kart stable, keep the momentum going, and throw the kart into the first 180. Deacon Willifeer's building a big gap already. He seems like he's got this thing dialed in right from the start. It is fixed setup. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me perfectly fine. Sounds all good. Willifeer going through the chicane. Sharp left and right. It is all flat out through there. You climb the curb as much as you possibly can. And then this very, very long right-hander going tight through there, flat out through here once again after that initial lift. And into the last corner we go. Deacon Olivier seemed like he has put in an absolute stonker of a lap. First time around a 105.2. I know they can go down to 104s. Skuman 6/10 down the line. Priceovich has exactly the same time. Priceovich and Skuman. Van Hamburg 1 second down. No, all the laps are looking fairly decent. I don't think Keenan du Plessis did a lot of practice, so let's see if he can get that lap time down. 1.6 off, not too bad for his first lap, so let's see what he comes up with. Nick Wright not getting his first lap on the board. No, actually, here comes Nick Wright. Let's see what he does. Throwing that Praga kart left. Hard left, and let's see as he climbs onto the curb there. Not even using much of it. That doesn't seem like it's a good exit. What does his lap time look like? No, 2.6 off the pace. Deacon Olivier now. 6.5 minutes to go. Olivier will come through the start finish once again. Does he improve? 105.222. He does not. Here comes Skuman. Skuman, does he improve this time around? He also doesn't. Standard getting a much better lap time, 1.6. Now here comes Priceovich. Alexander Priceovich for the Kokoro Esports. As we come to know him, coming through the ranks every time he picks up a lap, it just gets better and better. So advantage Deacon Olivier still 105.222. Keenan du Plessis 1.3. So he has improved that time around, slightly better than the previous 310s. Only 9 karts on grid tonight. Not to worry, it's the T4. We know it's going to be exciting racing, probably from the start to the finish. If memory serves me right, the last endurance race we did, it was a start to finish between Deacon Olivier and I think it was Leighton van der Merwe, won it at the end, but it was literally start to finish. They came into the pits, got on track together, and all the way bumper to bumper, swapping positions. Will somebody get closer to Deacon Olivier in this T4? Oh, he has improved again. Although that lap time doesn't seem right. Is this even qualifying lap times popping up? Okay, so there's a spacing issue. It's a 105.03 from Deacon Olivier. Half a second down the line is Priceovich. Skuman is also half a second. Then Gunnar van Hamburg has now gotten a little bit closer with 6/10 off the lead there. John Stander 1 second now, so he's getting his pace. That's great. Alfie Philipson. Let's see what young Alfie does. Also, like I said, a newcomer to the OKL space. What will he do on the track tonight? Let's see, Alfie coming into the final sector now. Following John Stanner, is trying to get a tow from him. Will he improve? Alfie Philipson does improve on his lap. Gunnar getting even closer this time around now, up into P3. Gunnar, the first of the international. I say that the first, I know Alexander Priceovich, he lives in South Africa, but he is a international driver technically, but based on ping, he is a local South African driver. Gunnar is racing from the European region, and you will also be able to see that on their ping to the server. Gunnar, Priceovich does have high ping, so Priceovich is racing outside of South Africa at the moment. If that's true, Mom, let me know. And then Alfie Philipson as well. Interesting. I didn't know Alexander is not in the country. Maybe it just has bad ping today. If that's the case, then we've got 2 European base drivers at the moment on the top 3 slots. Still leading the charge is Deacon Olivier. Oh, we hear a kart going slow. Just hear that engine bogging down. All of the guys are going to start crossing the line now. Skuman is... Oh, Priceovich moves back up into P2 now. Skuman did pass him for just a moment and then got ahead. But there's a big old battle here. Priceovich, Stander, and Philipson. These guys are racing each other no matter where they are. Alright, Philipson, let's see who is going to be the first one to cross the line now. Keenan Duplessis, where's Keenan? 1.2. Keenan has been improving. He pretty much has been doing an arrive and drive scenario. So every lap is just a little bit better as he goes onto the track. So I'd expect him to improve as the race goes on. Yes, he does improve by another 10. So Keenan Duplessis getting there slowly but surely. 1 second off the lead is not too bad. When you're sitting in the tow, that's what matters at the end of the day. Here comes Deacon. Deacon's now also just trying to grab something from Keenan. Keenan decides, nope, that's not for me. Keenan probably would be benefiting from just tucking in behind Deacon, rather, and then see if he can get along and improve his lap time. Liam Skuman currently in P3, half a second off the lead. Deacon Williford with the only driver in the 104s at the moment. 4/10, that's a big margin in the Tillotson cards. Let's just have a look who's crossing the line next. Nick Wright. Nick 2.8 seconds, almost 2.9 off the lead. He's not finding his rhythm at the moment. Crossing the line, no improvement there. Here comes Deacon. He does not improve. Keenan Duplessis, no improvement from his side. All of the drivers kind of settling in, not really improving, just lap time seems to be remaining the same. Top 6 within a second though. Here comes Van Hamburg, not improving that time around. Standard driving past 1.1 seconds off the lead there. Daniel Resende 8/10, almost 9/10 off the charge. Pricevic 4/10, still the gap. Oh, Nick right there, slamming the brakes a little bit too hard for Deacon Williford's liking, unfortunately, and just sending him sideways there for a moment. So just checking in on the chat, sound coming through fine, hopefully. How's everybody doing tonight? We're in our final couple laps of last lap rather. Nick Wright's going to cross the line now to finish his qualifying session, and he remains at the back. Keenan Duplessis 1 second, so slight improvement, moved himself up into P7. Not a big margin, but a improvement nonetheless, and I would expect Keenan to improve as the race goes on. Alfie Philipson 0.6, and Van Hamburg is currently in P4, and that's where they'll start the race. Resende, Standard, everybody's just driving off the track there. And that is the end of qualifying. Going into P1 would be... Oops, that quickly flipped over. I just wanted to see if I can quickly grab a screenshot for the admins as all the drivers cross the line, because I think they might have missed that. Alright, we're all good. Ready for the drivers to go onto the grid, line up, and start with our qualifying session. We'll set our overlay to the official race start the official race time has started. And we're going to change our flag to formation. All the drivers will line up in their starting positions. Doesn't really matter as long as they're just in the correct order. And I believe Deacon Williford is in P1 with Pricevic in P2. Don't we know a battle here when we see one? And then we've got Van Hamburg and Skuman on the second row. These four guys I'm expecting to go at it ham and tongs all the way through. All 9 carts on the track. Time, I believe, would have already started. If we say green flag, we'll know. Yeah, the time has officially started. But they're going to start with the formation lap now. There we go. The race admin will let them go for the start of their official formation lap. 1 hour race. It is a long race. It's a lot of commentary to do by my own, or by myself there. And it's okay. We'll get going through it. Hopefully everybody in the chat gets entertained on the stream, because I know these boys will put on, hopefully, a really good show. Right, guys. Final part of this warm-up. Well, halfway through the warm-up lap, rather. And again, I just want to confirm, sound is coming through. No one's responded in the chat yet on the YouTube channel. So hopefully I haven't been speaking to myself all the way through. Right, into the final section we go to start the starting procedure. Formation lap will pretty much be right at the end of it now. And then we can get going. The timer of the race obviously have already started, so they'll race whatever is left. Deacon Willifield leading the charge there side by side. Double file. Oh, everybody's trying to get a different slot there. Oh, there's a big bump there from behind. Pricevic getting a big nudge from Gunnar van Hamburg, getting a bit of a lag spike there. Willifield going down only one position. Pricevic getting away nicely thanks to that love tap from behind. We've got all the carts. We've got 3 wide going into the hard left-hander. Oh, carts climbing all over each other here at the back. Gunnar van Hamburg losing out quite a lot. Oh, Daniel Resende just yoinking him off to the side. Hopefully they all stay facing forward. Yes, it does seem to be the case. Standard trying to get down the inside. Oh, here comes Keenan Duplessis with a late lunge down the inside as well. Oh, John Stander clipping the side there. And there goes Skuman as well. It is chaos on the first lap. Pricevic and Willifield getting it sideways as well. It is really, what is it called? Rubbing is racing apparently. Not when it is... taking somebody out, unfortunately, but it seems like all the carts are still facing forward and they are still all in one piece. There we go. Deacon Willifield back to where he started. P1. Pricevic P2 now is going to tuck in behind Willifield. They don't want to be battling too much. The most ideal scenario for them would be to break away just a little bit from the chasing Daniel Resende. Keenan Duplessis had an absolute amazing start from almost at the back of the pack up into P... Where's Keenan Duplessis? He's in, yeah, he's in P4 now. Yeah, P4, that's it. Why is the timing sheet not giving us any actual time? It is in fact giving us who is currently where. But that's about it. And if I take this off quickly... Yeah, that's time. Okay, fine. You know what? If we don't know the gaps, that's also okay. As long as we know who is currently on which part of the track, I'm happy about that. Excuse me, apologies about that. Deacon Willifield, Pricevic leading the charge. Pricevic right on the rear of Willifield, and he wants to get keen on that. Oh, he just saw a little bit of a gap there. They take 2 different lines there. Willifield is going to have to get wise to that. Otherwise, he is going to get sent down the inside into that long right-hander. Crossing the line now this time around. Fastest lap on track. Timing sheet doesn't give us anything. That's unfortunate. I wonder why it's doing that. I wonder if I close this. Just give me 1 second while we try and sort the timing out. No, well, it's not working. We're not getting the gaps, but it's fine. We know it's at least showing us if we're still on the same lap or not. That's okay. That's not the end of the world, I suppose. Let's see what's happening further back. We've got Keenan Duplessis catching Daniel Resende. There's still a nice battle between Pricevic and Willifield up in front. Alfie Phillipson having a little bit of a lonely race at the moment in P5. Just behind him, John Jr. Thunder, and then Van Hamburg's got a lot to do, as well as Liam Skuman, who's not in the ideal spot for them, to be fair. They do not want... We've lost the driver. Who did we lose in the start of this race? Oh, Nick Wright dropped from the race. That's unfortunate. Losing Nick there from the race very early on. I'm assuming he's having some internet problems. Go back to the lead. Deacon Willie Fear leading the charge from Pricevic. PFI, Paul Fletcher International. What an awesome facility. One of the most awesome tracks you'll ever get to drive in the world. Track is definitely has no shortage of drama around here. Final lap lunges and wet to dry races and stuff like that. It's an absolutely epic track to watch the racing on, at least. Going into the last sector now, Willifeer and Pricevic still just driving together. We've got a nice big gap between them. Oh, Daniel Rosene had a bit of a moment there. That opens the door for Keenan Duplessis to now move himself up into P3. Duplessis, will he do something here? Or is he just going to bump draft behind Daniel Rosende? Taking two different lines through this corner here. The long left-hander. Over the bridge we go now. Keenan Duplessis, oh, climbing the curb a bit too much there. And then Phillipson, Alfie Phillipson, that is, still having a bit of a lonely race here. And then a lot of work to be done here by Gunnar van Hamburg and Liam Skuman. They're both so fast, so I'm expecting them to slowly but surely start moving towards the front. At least a bit closer than what they are right now. There is a swap around. Oh, John Jr. Standard had a bit of a moment. And he's lost quite a lot of time on the track. It seems like his cart is still facing forward, though. All the body parts still seem like it's on there, so he should be good. Deacon Willie Features getting a little bit of breathing room here from Pricevic. I wonder if Pricevic lost a little bit of concentration somewhere, climbed the curb a bit too hard, and just lost a bit of momentum. Keenan Duplessis raising his hand there. I think he had a bit of a moment. Where is Resende? Daniel Resende has fallen off quite a lot. I wonder if there was a bit of a moment between them. That's unfortunate. Resende was running strong in P3. Down the inside goes Resende on Skuman. Skuman doing a nice little cut back there. Textbook stuff. Side by side, we're going into the chicane section now. Who's going to go? Yeah, Skuman's got the inside line. That's his. And here comes Resende now back at him. Skuman does have the fastest lap at the moment. Oh, and Resende just gives him a bit of a love tap there and just sends him out wide. Unfortunately, but they're swapping positions. Not too much lost there, but it won't help their charge to catch onto the front pack. Let's have a look. What do we see here? Daniel Resende, Liam Skuman. Skuman still has the fastest lap. Standard driving a lonely race there, unfortunately. We'll go back to these two. They are the closest battle on track at the moment. I wonder if one of the drivers is going to pull the trigger early on their pit stop. And or if they will just wait until the last moment, go into the pits, and then come back out. Resende, Skuman. We've gone almost 10 minutes into this session, into the actual race. Skuman running wide there once again. Daniel Resende has got the advantage. Maybe Skuman's trying to get as much momentum as he possibly could. Oh, here comes Nick Wright coming back into the server. Even though he's lost a bunch of laps, he can still race and finish the race. Because that's, after all, what you want to do, right? With endurance race. You don't want to just not race. Oh, Liam Skuman climbing on to the curb there onto the exit of the second last corner, and that has cost him dearly, unfortunately. Still the two leading drivers on track. Deacon Willifeer, Alexander Pricevic. Pricevic just about a 3 or 4 kart lengths behind. Not really putting up a charge there. As I say that, a bit of a moment there by Willifear. And here we go. There's Pricevic now getting involved immediately. These Tillotons are slow as hell, but they are such fun go-karts to race with. The most enjoyable karts, if I'm honest. Oh, Keenan Duplessis had a bit of a moment, and he's lost some positions. Oh, he's lost some more positions. Alfie Phillipson moving up into P3. Oh, he climbs the curb. Not ideal for him. There's a lead. Just go back to the lead charge here because we've got a side-by-side situation here. Deacon Willifear and Alexander Pricevic showing each other enough respect on the track to not send it down the inside and cause unnecessary frustration. It is, after all, a very long race. Let's see whose concentration will last. Pricevic is looking over his shoulder there. Down the inside goes Pricevic there on Deacon Willifear. Deacon Willifear trying to cut back, but it's going to put him on the outside. Oh, Netcoach is getting involved there. Willifear just pulling off of that charge. He's doing another cutback there. Deacon Willifear is going down the inside for the chicane now. He should have the advantage. No, he's lifted. He's definitely lifted to tuck in behind Pricevic. They don't want to be going side by side through there. Pricevic seems like he's just looking over his shoulder more than what he's looking in front. He definitely does not want Willifear to pass him again. Willifear doesn't want to let this one go though. Pricevic, Willifear. 47 minutes to go. Who's going to take this one? It is a long way to go. These tires will have to last. You don't want to be swapping out. Because if you swap out, if you go to the pits and you come out and you get new tires, you will also have a full tank of fuel. So you don't want to do that. You kind of want to finish the race on the tank of fuel that you have. It should be more than enough. Pricevic defending. What if he is on the charge? Does he want to do something? Is he going to send it down the inside? No. He's still... Oh, well, if it's just clipping the rear of Pricevic, lifting off to give him back the position, doesn't want to get the advantage by a contact scenario where he will be penalized. Although I do think the stewards will probably be very lenient today. Oh, we've got our first two carts in the pits. Keenan Duplessis stationary for 30 seconds. That's the pit stop rules. We've got another cart coming into the pits there, Nick Wright as well. So they will be a lap down, but they have gone for an early pit stop. A very early one, actually. Van Hamburg and Daniel Resende and Liam Skuman definitely out of position. I would have expected those three drivers to be up in the front fight with Skuman and with Resende. Nope, I'm losing all the names with Willifear and Pricevic. Here comes Keenan Duplessis. He's now going to get lapped by the leading pair. Although he does not necessarily have to get out of the way. He just needs to hold his racing line. That is, generally speaking, the rules and etiquette of an endurance race. The slower kart that's being lapped, unless he makes it obvious he moves out of the way on the straight. But he does not want to do anything unpredictable. So stay on your racing line. Don't cause havoc. Let the faster drivers get by you by letting them send it down the inside. And of course, nothing stopping him from getting out of the way if he wants to, but in a safe area would be the right choice. Keenan Duplessis, what's he gonna do? He's gonna move out to the outside. Well done, Keenan. Safe area, letting the two leading drivers go at it. What if I was Keenan? I'd probably just try and tuck in behind them and let them drag me along. Really good work from the driver so far. We've seen the first pit stops very early. Well, if you're going down the inside of Pricevic, is he going to send it late on the brakes? Yes, he is. Pricevic trying to do a cutback. Deacon Willifear's got that line covered because he immediately held the inside line for the next 180. Pricevic tucking in behind him once again. This seems to be like this is going to be the race we're going to be experiencing all race or all day long. These two drivers going at it. Who's going to pull the pin for the pit stop? Are they going to go in together? Or is it going to be a do whatever he does not do scenario for Pricevic? If Willifear goes in, he stays out one more lap. Try and get a little bit of advantage. Let's see if we've got some battles brewing at the back, further back. We've got Philipson still driving on his own. Philipson must be absolutely bored out of his skull. Van Hamburg, Resende, and... oh, there's a big battle happening up front. Again. Oh, Nick Wright getting it wrong there. Oh, not getting involved, staying on the outside. Yes, Nick Wright letting these two get by. Unfortunately, Pricevic has lost a little bit on that exchange. Not too much harm done. He should still be fairly within touch and in tow. So it should be all good to keep going. Deacon Willifeer putting a masterclass with Pricevic. These two have been the class of the field for the first 20 minutes of this race. Amazing driving from these youngsters. It's crazy to think that both of these boys are like 13, 14 years old, and they're showing such maturity when they are driving. Absolutely amazing to see. And right here, Guinness du Plessis is going to have a go at Nick Wright there. Down the inside goes Guinness du Plessis, going to send it down. He is indeed going to go down the inside. Oh, Nick Wright turning into him. Just have a look at what's going. Oh, yeah, we've got a nice battle brewing further back. Daniel Resende and Liam Skuman's having a good old battle. Great exchange between these two drivers. The Mozambique, the driver from Mozambique and the young South African here in the form of Liam Skuman is going to go on the outside of the chicane. Try and force Resende with the tightest line through there to lose as much momentum as he possibly could to line him up for a pass. Deacon Willifeer? Oh, he's going into the pits. Willifeer has pulled the pin. Willifeer is the first one of the leaders into the pits. Pricevic, what will he do? Let's keep an eye on him. Will he go in? Let's see, what does Pricevic do? We're getting closer. We're into the first 180 we go. I think John Stander has retired from the race. Probably a bit late for him. And then we go through to chicane. Willifeer is now currently in P5. All the drivers in front of him needs to pit. There goes Pricevic. Now let's keep an eye on Deacon Willifeer, which is sifting through all the drivers. Willifeer will come over the bridge section now. Pricevic has to stay stationary for 30 seconds. And then he can go out again. He seems to be moving around though, so I'm not sure if he has actually started his 30 seconds. Oh no, Pricevic has already gone out. There's no way Pricevic has completed the 30-second pit stop. No way he has completed the 30-second pit stop. That will definitely be a penalty, if I'm not mistaken, because he's gained half a lap. Alright, so we'll follow that through. We'll see what the admins say. Maybe there's something that pops up in here. No, nothing. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. What does the admin say? Oh, I just heard a cart. Van Hamburg into the pits. Oh, he clipped the tires there and he got sent by somebody else just behind him. Daniel Resende. He just helped him in the right direction. Wasn't ideal for him, but now he's all sorted, all good. And ready to put his cart. Willifeer is currently still in P5 with all the drivers in front. Has now gone to the pits. Pricevic should be the leading driver, although I do suspect there might be a penalty coming his way. Alright, just ping the admins on the side. I'm curious to see what they're saying about that scenario with the pits. Maybe he has been asked to slow down, and maybe he's been given a drive-through penalty or something. I don't know. Oh, yes, he has. Let's see what he does. He goes to the pits. Has Priceovich been penalized for incorrect pit stop? There we go. There he stopped this time around. What does Deacon Williford do? Does that promote him up into the lead now? I suspect it does. Deacon Williford will now go into P1. That means Priceovich has been sent into the pits for an incorrect pit stop, which is unfortunate, but he was also meant to be stationary for 30 seconds and then go back out again. Unfortunate there, but let's see what happens. Anything is still, well, everything's still on the cards here. Who's currently leading the charge? Skuman and Priceovich is now on track with each other. Let's see what they do. Priceovich going to go down the inside. Yes, he is. Liam Skuman might just want to tuck in behind him. Alfie Phillipson still leading the way. He's gone the long route. Alfie Phillipson has decided, I'm not going to pit this early. I'm going to drive all the way through as long as possible and then park it. Keep an eye on these two battling on the track. Right behind them is also a battle brewing between Van Hamburg and Resende. It seems like it. Keenan Duplessis has gone to pits. Has he retired from the race? It seems like it. That's unfortunate for Keenan Duplessis. Skuban and Priceovich still having a go at it. Priceovich is leading the two. Who is the current? Yes, a nice battle between... Oh, Gunnar Van Hamburg almost flipped that cart. He caught it nicely. That seemed to be a very suspect moment there. He managed to pull it through. There we go. Yeah, we are on board with the leader now. Following the leader, that is Alfie Phillipson, who is leading the charge in his very, very first OKL race. He, of course, still needs to do a pit stop. I think he's the last driver to not have gone into the pits. And he seems to be going the long run. If his lap times are good, why worry about the pit stop? You have no reason to get in that early. Skuman and Priceovich having a go at it. 35 minutes to go. Long way to go. We are not even halfway yet. We've lost two drivers. Nick Wright is now starting to make his way through the two drivers that have now retired from the race. Alfie's father just pinged us here in the chat. Alfie's racing at PFI this weekend for the British Kart Champs in Minimax. Just turned 11. Alfie the youngster. Pretty much all these drivers are fairly young though. But it's great to see the youngsters getting involved in sim racing at a young age. And hopefully we can get more of these youngsters join up at OKL and come have some fun. There's ranked racing. League has taken a bit of a sabbatical this year so far, but with the Rotax being released, I don't know, let's see, maybe we can get a Rotax Max Challenge at OKL. Oh, I hear carts screaming in the back. What happened there? Resende and Van Hamburg having a bit of a moment. Phillipson is on a charge at the moment. The only driver that he's worried about right now is Deacon Williford. He's got about half a lap on him. Is that enough for the 30-second pit stop? That is 30 seconds from when he is stationary. That is the most important thing. He has to go, drive into the pits, park that cart, stand still for 30 seconds, get out again. If you don't do that, then you'll have what happened with Priceovich, unfortunately, who had to go into the pits again and complete the actual pit stop, which is not ideal. But that's also part of the rule sets. But let's not forget, this is not by no stretch of the imagination a full-blown official race. It is only our second endurance race at OKL. We're only having fun. The kids doing something different apart from the short heat races, which is normally 7 to 15 laps. This is a much longer format, a whole 1 hour that they will be racing, and we're almost halfway through now. Let's go back to the battle here, just behind. It's the battle of Pricevic and Skuman. It was the battle of Olivier and Pricevic in the first phase until the pit stops. Pricevic making a bit of a mistake, but now he's having a battle with Skuman, who also had an unfortunate start to his race and trying to move his way through the field. He's now currently in P4 though, so not looking too bad. Everybody, well, first 6 drivers still on the lead lap, and then Nick Wright was connected quite early in the race. Disconnected, and he had to come back and get some of his laps back, but unfortunately he still has a lot to do. Alfie is definitely taking the long run here, but Deacon Willifeed, oh no, where's Alfie? I looked at the wrong driver. 125, that's Nick Wright. Deacon Willifeed has just finished his lap, and Alfie's about halfway through his, so yes, half a lap. I don't think that's enough for Alfie to retain and remain in P1, so net P1 would go to Deacon from what I can see now. Pricevic obviously has a lot to do. There's about a quarter of a lap between them, so he's lost out quite a lot. Just keeping an eye on Pricevic and Skuman. I am still very keen to see when Alfie Phillipson will pull the lever, or pull the pin, and head towards that pit. We've gone about halfway, and we're almost halfway now on this race. The battle is still close as ever. Obviously some gaps because of the pit stops. Some unfortunate errors made by Pricevic on his pit stop, so he's battling for P3, and well, the battle's between P3 and 4 at the moment. Van Hamburg is further back with Daniel Resende. Down the inside goes Skuman up. Pricevic keeping it hard on the outside. Pedal to the metal. Pricevic defending now. So all this is doing essentially is costing them quite a lot of time from chasing down Willifeed. Willifeed is very far ahead now, almost half a lap. And then further down is Alfie Phillipson, who is yet to pit. But has he had a master stroke here? Just letting everybody else do their thing. He waits until the last moment, dives into the pits, and then finishes his race strong. Obviously, if you don't come out in front and there's a big gap, you have a lot of work to do to catch up. So, when will he do it? When is it too late for him to put in a good charge? Is he waiting for some mistakes to happen on the track? Wonder what's going through the young 11-year-old's head as he's trying his best to take his very first OKL race and win it right on a first attempt. That would be something special, wouldn't it? So no one's confirmed on the YouTube channel that my sound is coming through. So I do hope I haven't been speaking to myself for a full 40 plus minutes. If I have, It won't be the first time, so I guess it's not too bad. Should be okay. Prasovic and Skuman still having a go at it. Going over the bridge section now. The crossover place. Throwing that cart to the right. Flat out through the section. Onto the back straight. Into the first 180s. Here we go. Skuman going down the inside of Prasovic. Prasovic, oh, climbing the curb there. Prasovic seemed like he slammed his brakes a little bit too much and lost the rear of that cart. But that would have cost him a whole lot of time. Prasovic lost a little bit of time there. But just behind him is another battle brewing between Resende and Van Hamburg. Van Hamburg going on the inside of the 180s. Cut back. Oh, textbook stuff there from Daniel Resende. Van Hamburg has to settle in behind him once more. Absolutely amazing stuff there from young Daniel Resende. Perfect textbook cutback there. That was awesome to witness. Oh, there goes Van Hamburg. He clipped the rear of Resende. Van Hamburg off there. He's lost some more. But whilst Resende will get some breathing room, somebody's not getting any breathing room right now. That is the likes of Liam Skuman. Down the inside goes Prasovic for Kokoro Esports. He has absolutely smashed that cart down the inside. And Liam Skuman has come off second best in that exchange. It's amazing racing. We only have 7 carts remaining on track. But my oh my, we have no shortage of action on track. Can you imagine we had to put 20 plus carts on this track? 20 plus carts on this track and just have an outright battle. It would be so amazing to experience. Here we go, Van Hamburg and Resende. Resende not having any breathing room at all. Van Hamburg caught onto the back of him once again. Will Resende be able to come back at him? What an absolute amazing battle we've been experiencing today. Resende coming back at Van Hamburg now. The Carlos Sainz cart and the Sodi cart down the inside. No, he's not. He thought better of that exchange. What's he doing this time around? Is he going to go down inside? No, Van Hamburg's defending. He's got a defensive line. It's obviously going to compromise his exit on the first 180 there. However, he has managed to keep that cart going with all the momentum it needed to pull away at least a cart and a half from Daniel Resende on that exchange. That's amazing driving. Both these drivers keeping it hard, clean and fair. And that's the only thing we can expect from these drivers. Absolute class on the track today. Resende gonna try. Oh no, Resende sends it down the inside. Not ideal place. They definitely took different lines through there. Luckily, Van Hamburg was wise to the situation. He caught his cart and he went on forwards. Amazing. A whole bunch of drivers that unfortunately missed tonight for various reasons, so I am definitely keen to see these kids come back and race with us. We should definitely consider having a Rotax Max challenge. That would be so epic. Our newly released OKL Rotax carts. That would be a phenomenal bit of equipment to race with. Prasovic and Skuman still having a go at it. We've got 24 minutes remaining of this race. Philipsen still leading the way. He has not pitted yet. When will he pull the pin? Oh, Nick Wright getting out of the way. Yeah, thank you, Nick. Liam Skuman is definitely benefited from that exchange there. So he's now all over the back of Prasovic. Down through the bridge section we go. Over the bridge. We're going to go now. Oh, clipping the rear of Prasovic. Oh, side by side they go. And chaos erupts there between the two drivers. Nick Wright unfortunately clipping them, well, not by his own mistake. Pretty much an innocent bystander there, but Liam Skuman has now lost some more positions, unfortunately. Another person that's lost a lot of positions on track It's Van Hamburg. What happened to him? Alfie Philipsen, the leader, has now caught onto the back of all these drivers. So he's pretty much on a charge to lap them. At which point will Alfie go into the pits? The battle we are keeping a keen eye on is the 833 of Alfie Philipsen and the 304 of Deacon Olivier. Has Deacon done enough after his pit stop? And the pace... Oh, I just hear a cart going into the wall. That's Nick Wright. Something happened there. He's just centered into the wall. I hope his virtual arms is okay. There we go. Alfie Philipsen going to the pits now. Now we need to keep a keen eye on the 304 of Deacon Olivier. Does he have enough to take this one away from Philipsen? Has Philipsen done enough to take this one away from Olivier? This is where we are going to keep a keen eye on it. Philipsen needs to stand still for 30 seconds before he can get going. He needs to keep a keen eye on that monitor, on his timing sheet on his screen. Here comes Deacon Olivier. Has he done enough? It seems like he has. He's got all the momentum. Philipsen will need to get that cart going. And yes, Deacon Olivier has now moved back up into P1, and quite a big gap. That was much more than what I anticipated. Still stationary is Alfie Philipsen. He's been stationary for way too long. Has it been 30 seconds? Because here comes Priceovich, who also passed. My word, I did not expect that. What has Philipsen done? Is he stuck on something? He is stuck on something. No, technical failure there, really. That is unfortunate. Philipsen has had such a good run. Goes into pits and then has a problem. He's now a whole lap down. That is heartbreak for the young driver from the UK side. Or down the inside goes Olivier. Philipsen will be so upset with that. But most important is put it behind you. Nothing you can do about it. Just start racing. Don't drive angry. Keep that kart nice and smooth. Anything can happen. We've got 21 minutes to go. Mistakes can happen. That's unfortunate there for Philipsen. But he can still have a good battle though. Lap down, that's not ideal for him. Half a lap down from the leader is Priceovich, who was having the best exchange or scuffle with Olivier there in the beginning of part of the race. Skuman has pretty much had a fight with everybody on track today. We can say Liam Skuman has had no shortage of battles and action on track, that's for sure. Skuman sporting the T4 livery there. Everybody else choosing to run their own colors. I think so, at least. That is heartbreak for poor Alfie Philipsen. However, he had a really good run. He led a whole lot of laps. But he was stationary for over a minute, which was very unfortunate. And that happens, it's part of racing, right? You sometimes get things going your way, other times you don't. Somebody who has had not it going his way is Liam Skuman tonight. He's been in so many exchanges on track, and a lot of the times he came off second best. Not giving up though, he is currently in P3. So Daniel lost a lap somewhere. Oh, late defend there by Resende, and then realized and got out of the way, because who was committed to that exchange? That was Liam Skuman. He was absolutely committed to that. He was not flinching away from that. Amazing driving by these two drivers. I don't actually have a lot of information on Liam Skuman, apart from he's new to OKL. But he's been having a really good exchange on track. Down the inside goes Daniel Resende. He's trying to hold on to it. This Skuman. Not this time around. Van Amber coming back at it again. He's also been coming off second best in a lot of the on-track exchanges. It's unfortunate. But I must admit, I've been having a lot of fun tonight. It's been great commentating for once. It's been so fun. The drivers have been putting up a good show, even though we only have 7 drivers remaining out of the 9 that started. It's been action-packed all the way through so far. Alfie Phillipson, unfortunately, down in P5 now. Follow the battle between Resende and Skuman. Maybe we get on board. Let's see if we can get on board there with Skuman and just see how he handles the car through the sections. There we go. That's the one we want. Just see how he handles the kart, how it goes for him. Or we can follow the chase from behind on Daniel Resende as he's holding off Liam Skuman, and behind him Gunnar Van Hamburg as well. Liam Skuman coming onto the 180 section now, slamming those brakes. Skuman is going to send it down the inside. Is he? No, he's not. Look at him. He's all over the back of Daniel Resende as they touch each other there again. Bumpers, rear bumper and nose cone clipping each other again on the track. Everything seems to be facing forward though, which is the most important part. Where is Skuman going to send it down the inside? He's going to try and push Resende off wide a bit. Resende's having none of that. He's keeping that kart on the track all the way through. You can see Liam Skuman, he's got the pace. He's in such a strong toe now. Bump drafting down the straight. Oh, you see Resende getting a little bit wobbly there. The bump draft not always working on net code. What an amazing piece of driving from these two youngsters. Down the inside goes Liam Skuman onto the bridge section. Wow, it's not a place you always want to pass because it's pretty much flat out through there. Amazing stuff there from Skuman, and a lot of respect shown on track by Daniel Resende. Resende's nose cone does look fairly second-hand though. It does seem like he's got a bit of a nose cone, a pushback nose cone, and we won't penalize that in this race at all. Well done, drivers. It has been an absolute pleasure. 15 minutes, 3/4 of the way to go. The final quarter we have now approached. Who's going to take this one? Deacon Williford still leading the charge. He's been leading pretty much most of the race. Oh, here comes Nick Wright. Oh, down the inside we go. Nick Wright getting involved there, unfortunately. Again, that is, Liam probably should have just left it off there. Not try and send it down the inside of Resende when there's a back marker in the way as well. Not ideal for him. Unfortunate, but it is one of those things, and that's part of racing. It gives Liam another opportunity to have a good old battle with Gunnar van Hamburg again. That is a very second-hand looking Praga there by Nick Wright. That thing is missing some parts. That thing is missing some performance. But Nick is not giving up today. He's going to continue and finish that race. Under normal circumstances, the COC or the race director would have called him in to have that replaced. Now, that would normally mean he needs to drive into the pits, stand still for 30 seconds, and then just go back to click the go back to pit button and then go back out, because then they would replace the nose cone. But in this case, not to be. One thing I am seeing once again is Daniel Resende has 2 karts behind him, catching at a rapid rate again. We'll go on board with Daniel Resende in a nice little rear view shot so we can see the karts behind him as they come along. What an amazing piece of driving from all these youngsters. Really, it's been so fun. It's been so good to be back on the stream, on commentary again. And I hope you guys have been as entertained as I have. We have unfortunately lost John Jr. Stander, Keenan Duplessis, and then 11 laps down from the lead is Nick Wright. But he hasn't given up. He's still driving. He's still going at it, which is amazing. It's absolutely amazing to see the drivers go at it. And that's what we want to see. Pricevic in P2. Deacon Willifear leading the charge still. He's got a big lead. A big lead. You see the two carts behind Daniel Rosende trying to come back at him. Trying to get closer and get into that tow and see if they will be able to have a good old fight. So far, no luck. Well, I say that. Gunnar van Hamburg is now closer. He's going to start benefiting from that tow. And the tow on these carts is absolutely insane. Look at him pulling now. There we go. He's going to send it down the inside immediately. Not even wasting any time. Oh my word. Gunnar van Hamburg sending one with zero hesitation. He caught onto the back of Resende. Sniffed a bit of a wide run there from Resende, entry into that what looks like the golf club from Kalani karting circuit, and he sent it down the inside. He wasted zero time on that. Amazing. Well done. Van Hamburg has now moved up into P3. I think he'd be quite happy with that. He was so far down after a couple laps, having some issues, and he's moved himself up into P3, which is great. Resende also, as well as Skuman. I mean, everybody I think should be fairly happy. It's been a long race. We've got almost 10 minutes to go, and there's action still happening. The only two drivers currently not experiencing anything. I don't want to commentate to curse that, because Deacon Olivier is catching onto the back of Nick Wright, who has a very second-hand Praga there. Yeah, he yeets that cart out of the way, and raising the hand is Deacon Olivier to say thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. And he's going to be on his merry way. Then Alfie Phillipson. Lucende is now onto the back of Van Hamburg again. So there's no gap built there. Not too much, at least. Lucende is getting a lot of airtime tonight. He's been involved in quite a lot. So has Van Hamburg, as well as Skuman. It's really been fun. These Tillotons. Hopefully all their carts, they can break those. Hopefully everybody's cart stays in one piece. See, Lucende and Van Hamburg's got two different lines through there. They both seem to be giving them the same result. However, Van Hamburg's line going through that golf club corner would be a lot tighter, which means he doesn't open the door for being sent down the inside as he did with Daniel Resende. So Daniel Resende hopefully learned from that. As I said that, he's going to go down the inside through the bridge section, long left-hander now, throwing that cart to the left, now to the right, and he's passed Van Hamburg there. And moved himself back into P3. Well, he seems to be a lap down, though, according to the timing sheet. It's not that it matters. It's just all about fun. There's nothing in it for these guys. Just bragging rights. Skuman trying his absolute best to catch onto the back of them. He's not getting involved as of yet. Oh, a little bit of a left tap from behind. So Resende is going to send it down the inside into the right-hander. Yes, he is. Side by side we go. Van Hamburg wants a tighter line. Resende wants a wider line. Doesn't help if one is on the inside and one's outside. They can't do different lines. Have to stay nice and consistent. Here comes Skuman now. Skuman's getting involved. 9 minutes to go. Skuman is sniffing a potential podium now. From being right at the back of the field, quite far down, he is now sniffing a podium. As I say that, he seems to be losing a little bit of pace or track time to the two drivers in front, Van Hamburg and Resende. Oh, hard on the brakes as Resende. Van Hamburg was not expecting. Oh, Resende goes into the tires. No, Resende. Oh, no, he's going to have to push his kart off of the tires there. That is unfortunate. I do think Resende did slam the brakes a little bit harder than what Van Hamburg was expecting. And then he just rear-ended him. And Resende's kart went to the outside. Couldn't catch it off the Astro strip there. And he got sent towards the tires, which is unfortunate. P3 at the moment on track for Van Hamburg. And here comes Skuma now. It has been an absolutely action-packed race. Only 7 karts on track. We had 9, and we've had so much to talk about throughout this race. The T4 karts really make for some of the best racing in the world. They are slow. It's all about momentum. If you can keep that momentum in that kart, you're going to have a proper jolly night on the track. It is so fun. I really enjoy racing them. I obviously do enjoy the 2-stroke karts as well. They are super fun, but they are a lot more technical. They make for hard racing, but you are also fighting the kart a lot more. Where with the Tillotson, it's all about the momentum. Can you keep it? Where do you pass without losing too much time? I mean, technically we can say the same for all the karts, I suppose. Another kart I also really enjoy racing is the minis. I really enjoy the minis. Much smaller. They're pretty much the same pace as the T4s, but they are so fun to race with as well. To be fair, I think the T4 is probably even slower. Position swap between Van Hamburg and Schoeman. I think so. No? Same positions. They were just side by side for a moment there. 6 minutes to go. We're now at the tail end of this race. One driver that we haven't mentioned for a while is Deacon Willifeer as well as Pricevic. They are both driving fairly on their own at the moment, P1 and 2. And that would be because of the pit stop error made by Pricevic. He had to go in again and complete the 30-second pit stop, which is unfortunate, but it is part of the event. You have to pit at least once and stand still for 30 seconds and you can go out again. We did not necessarily enforce speed limits in the pit. Just drive in, park, and then go out again. Skuman will back off Van Hamburg. Does he want to pass, or does he kind of just want to sit here and bide his time and wait towards the end of the race and then send it down the inside and just defend? You don't want to be going too early and then you can't get rid of the kart behind you. One kart they won't be able to get rid of is the kart in front of them. That's Nick Wright with a very second-hand looking Praga. Van Hamburg's going to go down the inside. Nick Wright, is he aware of the 2 karts on his outside? Yes, he is. He's going to stay on the outside, yeah, and the 2 guys will go the inside. Oh, side by side, we go into the 180s. Skuman trying to force Van Hamburg into the tighter line, but he was so wise to that, and he managed to keep all the momentum in that kart through the first 180. Second one is same logic. He kept the momentum. Van Hamburg's really driving a really good technical race so far. I've really been enjoying how he's been positioning his kart, defending, but still keeping his lap times fairly good and consistent. Man, if we had to select a driver of the day, who would we call the driver of the day? Guys, please feel free to let me know in the YouTube channel, in the chat. Who would you vote your driver of the day based on what we have seen so far? Resende's now a bit of a lonely race. We have a bit of a driver swap once again. Van Hamburg, as we go away from them, they start battling once again. Van Hamburg, Skuman, we've got 4 minutes to go. What's happening on track? Very defensive line there by Van Hamburg. He's leaving nothing to chance, but that's really compromised his exit onto the corner. Skuman just drove down the inside cutback, and he's got that position. Look at that late lunge there by Van Hamburg. Late lunge. That might have been a little bit naughty there. Liam Skuman has lost a lot of time. That would have been... Oof. I don't know about that. Very, very late lunge there. However, We've had some mostly good, hard and fair racing. Van Hamburg and Schoeman, I don't think that's the end of their story for tonight though. There's 3 minutes 20 seconds remaining. Who's going to take the flag on that final podium spot? 3 minutes to go. We've gone just below the 3-minute timer. Deacon Willifeer, he's got a commanding lead of a little bit more than half a lap as it seems. The 3:15 going into the final sector now of Pricevic, who's currently in second. A year cart going slow. That's Nick Wright again. I just heard that cart bog down in my ears. There we go. He's driving on the curb and the grass. He's really bringing the definition of the T4 lawnmowers onto this race. He's driving that cart on the grass, saving the groundsman as much time as he possibly can for the next event. He doesn't have to cut that piece. Nick Wright has got it all covered. I'd say that's a very expensive lawnmower if you ask me. Have those two boys gotten closer on track? Not yet. We're following the leader. 2 minutes to go. We are now on the 2-minute mark. Pretty much done and dusted for Willifeer if he keeps the cart clean and consistent on the track. He doesn't want to climb the curbs too much and flip the cart. He doesn't want to be doing anything crazy. You don't necessarily even want to play safe, because playing it safe normally means I'm going to cause problems for myself. Just stay in your groove. That's the most important thing after an hour's worth of racing. Stay in your groove. Don't change your approach. I've seen it so many times when drivers take it slow. They're taking it easy, not doing anything crazy, and then all of a sudden, big mistake because they missed the braking marker, being too relaxed. Excuse me, apologies for that. And as we say that, we're going to go back to that B3 battle on track. We've got Van Hamburg and Liam Schoeman once again. We've got about 2 more laps to go. Next time Willifeer crosses the line, I think that will be the start of the final lap. I'm not sure. It might be +1. Run out the timer +1, I think. Unless the race just automatically stops. It normally will go until you finish your next lap. So I think that might be the start of our final lap for Deacon Willifeer, who still has 2 laps to go. He's Gunnar Van Hamburg and Liam Schoeman. Liam Schoeman all over the back of Van Hamburg now. After that previous lunge from Van Hamburg, that was a dive bomb of note. Liam Schoeman is getting involved once again. Almost a lap down, these two drivers on Willifeer. Willifeer has really had a really strong race. These two will not have time to start their next lap. This might be the end of their race, actually. I wonder. What does the timer say? They're going to cross the line. I think this might be the end of their race. Yeah, they got the checkered flag, I believe. But somebody who will now come home in P1 is Deacon Willifeer, who's going to take the victory of the endurance race for OKL at PFI. The T4 carts. What an amazing drive there by Deacon Willifeer. Nick Wright will be... Nope, the next driver to cross the line would be Alfie Philipson, but the lead driver between them would be Alexander Pricevic. Pricevic will be taking this one home in P2. What an amazing drive. Just obviously pending or bar that one pit stop error from Pricevic was unfortunately his own error. P2 for him. Pricevic had a really good race for Kokoro Esports. It could have been a battle from start to finish between these two drivers. Amazing stuff, boys. It has been absolutely phenomenal. I've enjoyed that. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. It has been an amazing race. And I'm just going to stop the timer before we lose anything there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for the OKL 1-hour endurance race with the T4 carts at PFI, Paul Fletcher International. What a phenomenal track we were at. in the UK today. The virtual track, of course. It's been awesome. Deacon Willie Fear taking P1, Pricevich P2, and in third place, I believe it was Gunnar van Hamburg. An absolutely awesome event tonight. I really enjoyed that. Unfortunately, some of the drivers we lost early, which was Thunder and Keenan Duplessis, but we'll come back stronger, more karts on grid, and we'll hopefully even start that Rotax Max Challenge as well very soon. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I really enjoyed it. I hope I'll see you guys for the next one. We'll keep an eye on the socials. We'll announce something. That was fun. And I hope you guys were entertained. Thank you all. Goodbye.